Hey crypto friends, for those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Garrett and welcome to Altcoin Radar. Today we are going to be taking a look at the MINA charts and we're going to see where it might be headed, and we will cover both bullish and bearish scenarios as well, just to simply cover all of the possibilities. And towards the end of the video, I will cover the overall macro structure of the overall altcoin market as well. Now, for those of you who love trading crypto and would like to try the same crypto exchanges that I use on a regular basis, feel free to go ahead and try out either the MEXC exchange or the Blowfin exchange with the links in the video description down below this video. Now, the reasons why I love these exchanges, two reasons. The reason why I love MEXC is because they have the cheapest trading fees in the entire industry, and you get to keep more of your profits because you're paying less in fees. Now, the reason why I love Blowfin is because they allow anybody from anywhere to be able to sign up. So if you're from the United States and you want to trade crypto futures, you can do it on Blowfin. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at MINA on the macro chart here. So I've got MINA here on the daily chart, and as you guys can clearly see here, we are currently trading here right around the 86-cent level, and we're a little bit stuck here. But the good thing here is we have been creating some higher lows going upwards, which has been very, very nice here. All right. That's what we typically want to see when we are building momentum to have another big move to the upside, and that is what I'm hoping is happening here, because we have been consolidating within this range here between 97 cents and 60 cents for quite some time now. We have been trading within this range here now for, let's see here, about a month and a half now, actually, so it's been quite a while. So we've been consolidating down here for a while, and we are only expecting an explosive move to be happening here soon, and hopefully it is to the freaking upside. All right, now as you guys can clearly see, we are currently trading within a triangle right here, and as you guys can clearly see, obviously in a bullish scenario, what I see happening here is we end up gaining momentum to break through the triangle and up to this level of resistance up here at 97 cents. Now, this 97-cent level is extremely important to me personally, because I believe that once we break through this range right here, we will end up, I mean, that's pretty much clearing the path for full-on bullish momentum, okay? So once we break through here, we'll probably end up going up and, finding resistance right up here at 113 and end up coming down. Here's what I see happening, okay? We will end up going up, and we will probably end up coming back down to consolidate a little bit down to this level right in here, and we will end up bouncing off of that and then gaining momentum again, going straight through the resistance zone and going up to test this layer of resistance. And once we get up to this layer of resistance, we'll probably end up coming back down to this mid-range support level kind of right in here, and if there's enough momentum, then we will break off of that and go back up and break through that resistance level and continue going up. The overall goal here is to continue to keep creating higher and higher lows all the way up in a step-by-step fashion, and that's what we want to see here. All right, now in a overall bearish scenario, what I could see happening if something stupid were to happen in the market and we get some kind of stupid black swan event or some shit like that, here's what I could see happening, okay? Now, realistically, we've been down for so long, or altcoins have been down for so long, I just realistically don't see how we could go lower than these, very large lows down here, right? Like right at 60 cents, for instance, okay? I mean, it's definitely possible, but here's what I see happening if we end up getting bearish, okay? If we end up getting bearish, we'll probably come down, retest the bottom of this triangle down here, and obviously if it fails, we'll probably go straight through it and then down to this layer right in here and retest that. Now, if that fails, we will most likely end up dropping down to 60 cents. And because we've got big support down here, we will probably end up bouncing off of it and going back up and retesting this layer of what's now resistance again. And if that fails, then we will probably end up going back down and breaking through and going down a little bit further, okay? But realistically, guys, I do not personally see that happening. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I'm not a magician. I can't see the future, so I can't tell you with 100% certainty that it will or won't happen. Nobody can. But realistically, with the way things are going right now and everybody wanting, these coins to start rising, I just don't see that happening. There's a lot of people holding on to their coins. There's a lot of inflow happening into altcoins, and I just realistically realistically don't see that happening unless we get some kind of black swan news event, okay? Now, with support and resistance levels aside, let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like with some of the indicators. So with some of the indicators, as you guys can clearly see, we've got the EMAs turned on. And as you guys can clearly see, we are currently trending below the 200 EMA, which is the yellow line here, okay? Now, we did technically have what's considered a death cross right in here, but realistically, I mean, realistically, you know, death crosses, they don't always play out like people would expect them to. I mean, sometimes they do, but if there's enough momentum in the market, they can easily, you know, go back and change course as we continue to go higher and higher, okay? But overall here, we want to see price action get above all of these EMAs, because realistically, we want all of the EMAs to be below the price action in order for us to feel comfortable with positive moves to the upside, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at the Bollinger Bands now. Now, when we're looking at the Bollinger Bands, we can clearly see that price action has currently bounced off of the moving average down in here, which is very nice to see. That's what we want to see, especially in a bullish uptrend. And now we want to see price go up and head towards the top of the band, okay? As we all know, for those of you who aren't familiar with Bollinger Bands, usually in an uptrend, price ends up crossing the moving average and then goes up and starts riding the top of the Bollinger Bands here, okay? And then they come back down to retest the moving average down in here, and if momentum isn't there, then it goes down even further, and then it starts to get bearish and starts to trade below the moving average, okay? And so what we want to see here overall is we want to see price action start to move above this moving average here and up towards the top of the bands here. And as the bands start to expand, that's when we really want to see price action be at the tops of those bands, okay? So let's go ahead and take that off, and let's look at the RSI. So when we're looking at the RSI now, we can clearly see that things are very, very neutral right now, okay? But on the daily chart as well, this is another thing we have to look at too. The stochastic RSI, which is these pink and blue lines, the stochastic RSI, and then the lime green line is the regular RSI, okay? Stochastic RSI is still pretty high, and it probably will end up coming back down, hopefully soon. And if that ends up happening, what I see happening here is by the time price ends up coming back down to retest this layer to go back up again, to gain momentum again, to go through and back up, stochastic RSI will be right down here, okay? Which is what, you know, I personally realistically want to see, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at the overall altcoin market cap chart now and see where the overall altcoin market is currently working with right now. So if we go up to the total 3, we can clearly see that market caps of all altcoins excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum have been trending right. You know, we have been creating this rising wedge pattern here, which, as most of you know, with a rising wedge pattern, they usually end up leading to more downside at some point in time and going straight through and going down. But that does not happen every single time, okay? Realistically, what could end up happening here is we could end up coming down, retesting the bottom of it, and then going back up, and then coming back down and retesting it and going back up, and just, you know, this whole back and forth movement all the way up before finally going down, okay? Now, if that does end up happening, I mean, we'll obviously want to be prepared for it. We don't know when that's going to happen exactly, but again, like I was saying, they don't always play out like that. Sometimes they do fail, and if there's enough momentum in the market, we could honestly end up going up and having enough momentum to, you know, go up and break through it and going up and breaking these layers of, you know, major resistance in the altcoins and continuing to go even higher and higher, okay? Now, in a bearish scenario, what could end up happening here is we could end up dropping. We drop through, and we make our drop through the rising wedge here, and we go down to the support level here of $623 billion. And we want to hold these 3 levels. If we end up dropping, if altcoins do end up dropping, these are 3 key levels that we really want to hold, because we created these levels as new higher lows as we started going up. And honestly, that's what I'm really hoping happens here as well. I'm hoping we're just creating another higher low and we end up going up again. All right. But in a bearish scenario, we want to keep looking at this $623 billion level, $595 billion level, and $558 billion level, okay? These are all very, very key levels of support that we want to look out for here, okay? So overall, guys, before I go ahead and, hold on here, let me get rid of that. But before I go ahead and wrap up this video, if you enjoyed this video, and go ahead and make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button below the video, and leave me a comment below on your personal thoughts on where you think the price of MINA is going to go in the short term. And hey guys, with that said, for those of you who stuck around and ended up watching the video throughout the entire video, thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you in my future videos.